Hi and welcome to Erik Penser Bank. Today I interview Klaus Elsborg Olesen, CEO of Initiator Pharma. Very welcome, Klaus.
Thank you very much, Klaus.
You have had some busy past months in the company with important clinical data and some positive patent data as well, patent approvals.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just, if you could recapitulate a little bit about the 2A data that was released earlier this summer.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Yeah, so the 2A data you're referring to was in our psychogenic ED trial with the drug substance IP 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a trial that has been going on over COVID, so it's taken some time to complete that. But we actually managed to recruit all 24 patients into this study. And we showed that there's a dose-dependent effect of 2018, and we see the statistical significance on some of the endpoints that we're looking at, and that's tumescence and also duration of rigidity. So this is really an important proof of concept for us as a company, because this is the first time that we are dosing 2018 in the setting of ED, in this segment of patients with mild depression and low mood and suffering from the ED at the same time. So we are really excited that we got strong data coming out of this. It demonstrates that targeting the dopamine pathway is something that works for ED, and also with the component of serotonin in the IP 2018 compound, we are also helping these patients that suffer from these mild depressions and low mood. So super excited about seeing the results there. Now looking at the data, there's a lot of post-hoc analysis. We're trying to find out, what did we learn during the trial? Who was it that didn't qualify to be included in? Is that a segment we need to look at? And what is the next trial going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
We learned from this trial that this segment of patients is difficult to do Regiscan on. Mm-hmm. So we would definitely think that the next kind of study one would do here would be an intercourse study like one is doing now, we're doing now for pudafensine in the phase 2B study. Yeah.
Okay. And you also released a positive PK data. If you could just remind us a little bit about that.
The PK data is on the pudafensine or IP 2015 compound. So up till this point, what we have used, we're using a formulation called drug in a bottle. Mm-hmm. And it is just like it is. It's powder put into a bottle and you shake it up with a liquid and then you drink it. The benefits of that is that you can easily change the dosing regimes. So if you want to go higher dose, lower dose, and you don't spend money on producing tablets that maybe are of the wrong dose level, or that is, you need to find a way to optimize the formulation in this capsule. So that's something that we haven't done yet. We have done it in parallel to the trials, and that's now we have a tablet formulation or a capsule formulation, and that's the one we took into a pharmacokinetic study. And in this pharmacokinetic study, we are then looking at, does the drug behave the same, the API, so the active pharmaceutical ingredient? Is it behaving similar to the drug in the bottle? And that's of course important that it does that, but we need to use it for the same trials. So, so it needs to have the same properties, it needs to have the same exposure and so on, and plasma levels in the patients, and that's why we're doing that. Okay,
so you think this tablet now you can use going forward in upcoming studies?
Yeah, so our ambition is to take this formulation and use that in future clinical trials. Mm-hmm. You can say right now we're just about finishing one with the drug in a bottle. So, but it's besides that it's a more optimal formulation. It's closer to the final product. It is also you can say a natural progression of the company. When we need to start dosing larger quantities of patients, drug in a bottle is not very desirable. You want to be able to hand out capsules instead. Yeah.
Great. And you also had a positive news flow on your patent portfolio and about IP 2018. What does that patent cover?
Yeah, so the 2018 patent is the patent that covers you can say the medical use claims of using IP 2018 in this segment of patients that are suffering from low mood and depressions, mild depression. So it's actually, you can say it's the medical use claims covering the whole indication that we are working on. This is of course very nice because you can say that 2018 has some challenges on the IP side. The expiry date of the composition of matter is 25/26. So you can say that we need to take additional measurement here to protect this going forward, the commercial opportunity here. One of them is by using patents that are more created towards the use of it, the indication you're using it, and then also protecting IP again with formulations and so on. Again, 2018 has also been used in a drug in a bottle formulation.
Okay. And you reported your interim results today, and you reported a financial position or cash position of 25.9 million Danish kroner. Could you, where does this amount of money take you?
Yeah, so we said to the market that it will take us beyond 24, and that still holds true. So you can see that, you know, we are getting to the end of having large expenses because the trials are being concluded. We expect the last payment for the 2018 will fall in the next couple of months when we get the final report. And the same is true for the study that we have done on pudafensine. But remember, the phase 2b study actually is very much financed by MAC. So we don't get a big invoice there at the end. So that's actually something that they finance. Remember that we made this deal that they can convert into shares at a 7% premium. So I would say that the money we have is actually sufficient to complete all the trials and then really get going and have good time to also looking at new opportunities, but also very much in the business development effort that we need to accelerate at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And I mean, you have had a very nice news flow so far this year, but the most important news is still to come, the phase 2b data. Maybe you could comment a little bit about what we should expect.
Yeah, so you see me here tiptoeing because I'm looking forward to see that data, and you can say that on the 2018 study it was the first time we ever dosed these patients, and of course you never know how this segment of patients is going to react to them. But now we have validated that once again that the dopamine plays a really important role. We have conducted a similar study in 2015 in pudafensine in the organic segment, and again here we saw that we got statistically significant response rates in a group of patients. So of course you can say the mechanism of action should be in place, but now of course we are spreading it out to 120 patients, 2 dose levels. But we're also looking at endpoints that are a little bit different. We are looking at endpoints that I think we can call them more clinically relevant. It's not a dark room where you're measuring rigidity of the penis. It's actually an assessment of an intercourse, also the satisfaction and so on. And I think this will definitely be in favor of our drug candidate, that we will get even stronger results here.
Looking forward to this data later this year then. And finally, just a question about the pudafensine in neuropathic pain. What is happening right now?
Yeah, so based on the data that we got originally in the healthy volunteer study, that was actually, we were really excited about that result. And of course people say, yeah, but why's nothing happening? Well, again, we make sure we do most cost-efficient development. So we want to make sure that when we start something in the neuropathic pain, it's in the right segment. The data was actually broader, so actually we got more coverage than we originally thought we would have with such a compound. So now we are saying that, okay, is trigeminal still the right indication? Yes, no, we think it's still a very valid indication, but we also see other indications that could fit into this. And of course you can say that it is the same active pharmaceutical ingredient that we are using in the phase 2b study in organic ED. So at one point we are also in a scenario where we need to prioritize. Do we solely want to focus on ED with that? And then maybe bring up one of our backup candidates into the pain setting. But that's something data will show. As I said many times, data is what drives value creation in this company, and that will continue to be so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Klaus.
But thank you very much for having me. Have a good day.